everyone, welcome back to Stitchy Bee. I'm Cheryl Temple. Well, if you saw my video last week, I said I was thinking about making an off-the-shoulder top and I couldn't decide whether to make it in a black and white stripy viscose jersey or this crazy La Isla Bonita style pink floral rose jersey. So obviously you know which way I went and I love it. I'm really happy with it. It's the easiest make ever. I went for the Over It Lucia top. I think that's how you pronounce it, Lucia, and I instantly fell in love with it because it has 3 pattern pieces, which is brilliant. So there's the frill part, the bodice, and then the sleeves. So I'll explain what I did. So firstly, I found this pattern a bit odd because it's got long sleeves and I wanted something really summery. I'm not sure if I'd wear off the shoulder and need a long sleeve. I usually get too hot in that kind of thing, even in autumn. It's a bit odd that you'd have your shoulders bare but a long sleeve. But yeah, maybe if you're self-conscious about your arms, it might help with a light fabric. So I'll give you a quick peep. I chopped off the sleeve on this, so I still popped a little one in. Now I'm quite intrigued as to whether or not you actually need one at all, but I wasn't sure if the construction would be stable enough by leaving it out, but I might have a go next time in just skipping that piece entirely because there's hardly anything to it. I kept it long and then I kept chopping it shorter and shorter. The first one I did ended here and that just looked a bit odd, so I thought no, it needs to sit underneath the ruffle. So there's stability there, but you can still, it looks like there isn't one. And then this can either be worn up or lower down on the shoulder, and it's the comfiest off shoulder top I've ever had because I've got a couple of ready to wear ones and they're either a bit tight or a bit too loose, and you don't want to feel self-conscious wandering around like this if it slips down in summer. So you need a good off shoulder bra, or a strapless bra should I say. And I cut a 14 because I wanted it loose, but I think it's a bit big on me. I think really I could probably go in a bit more, but I didn't want to feel too tight and self-conscious for holidays and things like that. A looser fit is better, isn't it, in the heat? So I think I'll leave it as is, and I'll wear this with white jeans. I've got black ones on today because I'm saving my white ones for holidays and things, but yeah, I think I'm really happy with it. Now I've got a little tip for you in terms of how you actually thread the elastic in. So I've probably mentioned before ages ago, but I used to make shower caps, so I've got lots of this elastic, which I think it's 1/2 centimetre. It's exactly the same as the one that the instructions recommend. Now in the instructions you're told to wrap the elastic around your shoulders, which is fairly easy to do, and then to work out how you want that to fit, and that's exactly what I did. But the tip for you I'm going to give is don't cut it until you've threaded it through. So what I do is mark that with a little line there. This is how I used to do it with the shower caps. And then what I did was take a darning needle. In the instructions I think it recommends a safety pin, but I find this far more effective. You've got to be a bit careful with it because it can poke through your fabric. And I just thread it through, tighten a little half knot like that, and that keeps it secure, nothing fancy, just tied, and then thread through the actual space that it's made. So how the gap's made is literally it's just turned over like a hem might be, and then you, unlike me, I sewed it all the way around and then had to unpick a little gap. So you leave a little gap so you can get in. And then you thread it through, keep pushing it through gradually and go slow, and then when it's through you find the little mark that you made. I can find it now. Oh, it's longer than that, longer than I thought. and then you tie it to that point, but leaving it on. If you've got a long piece of elastic, leave it there, otherwise it can go straight through and then you're back to square one. So just tie it off there. So imagine this is in the top, tie it round and make a knot that's tight enough to begin with to hold it. See how that feels, and then if it's too loose you can tighten it a bit more. If it's too tight you can let it out, and then when you're happy with the fit, tie that in another knot again and then snip it off and sew up the little gap as recommended. So that's the easiest way of doing it, but boy, it's a great easy make this, and if I'd have had more time I'd have done a couple. I didn't choose the stripes too because it recommends you don't, because this piece, it doesn't look it, is actually a curve. So if you can imagine cutting curves, cutting the stripes with a curved pattern piece, it would mess up. You could maybe adapt it if you were dead set on doing stripes and making it straight, but I think that's a bit too much work really for something that should really be a quick make. So no stripes, but you can do directional prints. Just be mindful of where they sit if they're really obvious. So yeah, the fabrics that are best for this top are, this one's the Lady McElroy Rose one that I'm wearing. I've still got some of that left if you want any. And this is also another great Lady McElroy viscose jersey, which is the polka dot one. So they're nice and drapey, anything that's light. So the kind of thing you might have in your stash, which is maybe a bit too light for a t-shirt, but really great for a top like this, especially as it's gathered. And if you've got anything slightly sheer, it gives you a little bit more comfort. These aren't sheer, these are fine. But yeah, the perfect summer top, and these are everywhere in the shops at the moment, aren't they? So it's really nice to be able to make one quicker than if you'd got in the car, gone down the shops and bought one. I genuinely think you could do it in a quicker time. We must do that challenge one week. So anyway, yeah, have a go. And there are loads of patterns out there. I'd really quite like to try this in a woven, and it's not meant to be sewn in a woven, this pattern, but because it's so loose, I wonder if you could actually get away with it, because the stretch is fine and it's quite loose fitting. You've got no worries about getting it on over your head. So I think I might have a bash, something like the viscose crepe might drape better, but don't waste your fabric, because I've not tried that yet. So unless you've got some fabric you'd like to use up. But yeah, stick to the jerseys, but bear in mind it could be adapted for wovens as well. Okay, that's it for me for this week. Just a quickie. I'm having a few days away with my dad this week, my annual get together with my dad. So I'm going to be contactable, so if you've got any questions about your orders or fabrics, I'll still be answering, but I won't be posting orders out until next Thursday, the 5th of July, so I'm not away for long, just a few days, and then I'll see you later. Okay, thanks a lot for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye for now.